What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to a second week in a row. Second week in a row of the Sports Wheelhouse as JD is practicing with his new 3D-dimensional camera.
What up, y'all?
What's up? Yeah, we're going to do a second week in a row. Really? That's what we're about to do?
Yeah, but you know what? Normally we'll have a fall off here in a little bit. You know,
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah.
The fall off's coming.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks in a row. I think we'll get another maybe 2 weeks before we're like, yo, life.
Yeah, but we might be able to figure something out. We're gonna figure something out this time. We're not gonna just fall off like we did this.
Well, I mean, there's things to talk about. I really like that you're like, yo, do we need to pod? I went, yes, we do.
Okay. We did discuss that.
That was our big conversation. So I actually have a wheel tonight for us because I feel like we can't really do the Sports Wheelhouse if we decide not to do a wheel.
That was only the one time though.
What do you mean?
So not really.
We've done no wheels a couple of times.
That doesn't make the Sports Wheelhouse a wheelhouse. It also can be because we go around the horn.
We go around, and it's right in our wheelhouse.
It's in our wheelhouse. That's what I'm saying. You dig what I'm saying?
All right.
I'm with it.
Well, I made a wheel.
Let's do it, bro.
Okay. So here's some topics. I hope you're ready. Please comment. We love the comments. It makes us happy.
For sure.
And stuff. So here's the wheel.
Maybe people will start popping on here in a little bit.
So let us spin. Nomine Patri. I mean,
okay, that's a good way to start it.
That's a great way to start it. We talking NBA free agency up in here.
For sure.
So there have been some signings.
A lot of signings.
There have been some WTF signings, if you will. There have been some just chasing that bag signings, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
But I think we should start with them 76ers. What do you say?
I feel like they've made a lot of moves. I think there's some other stuff, but I'm with it. Whatever you want to do, I'm letting you.
I want to start with the Sixers because I mean, technically, this is like a Philadelphia base show, so I'm going to start with the Sixers.
It's in our wheelhouse.
The Philadelphia 76ers did what everybody knew they were going to do, and paid Paul George a whole lot of money. If you remember, about a week ago, right? We sat here on the show and said they're going to pay Paul George a whole extra stupid amount of money.
Right.
And then they did. From a basketball perspective, do you like that signing specifically?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's our show, guys. It's been great.
I mean, the reason that I say that is because Paul George is a 3-and-D. I consider Paul George a real 3-and-D player. He can get to his spots. He's a scorer. He's a volume scorer as well. So he can get hot and score on you quick. And I think with your weapons you already have, with Tyrese Maxey kind of coming into his own, Joel Embiid being the premier best big man in the league, like you only get a couple years. So you have to really take advantage of the time. Right. You don't have time to develop a player. So you need a guy that's already developed. He's already had bad times and he wants to win now. And if he doesn't win, he's going to be extra motivated to win in Philly. So that's why.
Did they pay him too much though for where he's at in his career?
No, because you got to think about like they just paying Tobias Harris damn near the same thing, if not more.
But we all know that was a mistake.
Right, but that's an overpayment. But this is a guy that can actually live up to the expectations.
Like be a third.
Yeah, you can be a legit third, and even if he can't, he's still a better third than Tobias Harris because of his versatility. So Tobias Harris can't do everything. He can't, like Paul George can bring the ball up. Like he can run the point.
But I don't want him to. I want Maxey to.
I know, but I'm saying like in games that like, let's say Maxey's in foul trouble, Lord forbid, or he goes down for injury or whatever. Like you still got Paul George to kind of run a team. You still got the picture I sent you was the new look Sixers.
Oh yeah. Let me put that on up for the peoples.
That is like kind of like it gives you kind of a layout of like how much depth they really got. If you got Andre Drummond to replace Embiid, you got I can't never think of his name. Older Gordon. You got Eric Gordon.
Yeah, Eric Gordon
for Maxey. You got my boy Kelly Oubre if he don't get hit by another bus.
So yeah, you got Caleb Martin.
Yep, Caleb Martin just recently signed.
So let's talk about these signings. Like obviously Paul George is the big market guy.
Right.
But they went ahead and got some guys that I love the Andre Drummond signing. I liked it when they did it 2 years ago. I think that he was exactly. Did we talk about this last week where I said Joel Embiid is not a 5 that is physical?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but we didn't really go into detail.
Yeah. Andre Drummond is a physical 5. So it means that Embiid doesn't have to bang around underneath. It means that when Embiid inevitably goes out for however many games he's going to miss next year, you've got a proven double-digit rebound per game replacement. You can't beat that. You know, I like the Eric Gordon signing. I like that Kelly Oubre chose. He goes, I want to stay in Philly. I rediscovered my love of basketball in Philly. That's the guy that wants to win. That's the guy that wants to bring something home. We talk about it all the time, like people in Philadelphia expecting certain things. Well, you saying you want to be here, we like that shit.
I mean, and let's just be completely honest. With Eric Gordon, with Kelly Oubre, with DeAndre Jordan, and with Martin, they're all role players who can who can just flat out score. And they can play defense. And if you notice that a lot of these picks are more defensive picks, opposed to a couple of years ago when they went out and got PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker was supposed to be a 3-and-D guy that couldn't do the 3. And he was so old that the D was going bad. And then a couple years before that, they had no Diddy.
That's a sentence. No Diddy. No Diddy.
And so then you got to go back a couple years before that, and you got Danny Green, who's at the last tail end of his career. That's supposed to be a 3-and-D guy that was older, but he still, I mean, had he not gotten hurt at the end, he would have been really viable for the Sixers. They never had
he was viable for them the whole time until he got hurt.
Until he got injured. So that's what I'm saying. But he was, after the injury, he wasn't viable anymore. So like they didn't have that 3-and-D player that they needed that year. They finally got a 3-and-D guy in Martin, and they got a 3-and-D guy in Paul George that they can actually count on for the long haul. They're both a little bit, they're veterans, but they're not going out to pasture anytime soon.
You look at a lot of teams that have been successful in recent years. You've got your core group of players, and then you've got the veteran plugins, right? That's how teams get successful. And I think that the Sixers so far have gone out and got the veteran plugins that are going to fill this team out the rest of the way. While at the same time, like, I don't want to say it's a free agent acquisition, but it's definitely a transaction that we're not talking about enough. Maxey got his bag.
Yeah, but he's supposed to, though.
He was supposed to, but they didn't wait. They didn't screw around. They didn't play around with the dude's money. They just went out
and got his
bag.
Yeah, because he's the future. Like, if you're thinking about it, like, you can build around Maxey as Embiid starts to kind of age out. I mean, you got some time here. You got 4 or 5 years before you even start thinking about the next chapter for his.
You do have time, but Embiid is a big guy who is gonna wear down. It's inevitable.
But Tobias Harris, not Tobias Harris, but Tyrese Maxey is the guy of the future. He's only been in the league a couple years. He's improved every year. He's had a big jump from rookie year to sophomore year now to year 3 and 4.
Colossal jump.
Yeah, so he's a huge jump. Probably will make the All-Star game this year. Probably be All-Star. Now you add him with another veteran with Paul George, who doesn't really need the ball. And I know I'm probably frozen.
You are.
That probably won't need the ball as much. And when you go to that situation where you don't need the ball as much, then he can actually develop as that premier player that we need, because Paul George he's notoriously bad in the playoffs. So Paul George is going to be trying to get over that hump of being playoff P, which is an oxymoron.
Yeah. So kind of talking a little bit about other teams, there obviously have been some other moves that I want to discuss. So
for sure.
Klay Thompson.
Trash.
Where he's at in his career now, yeah. He chooses the Mavericks. Thoughts?
I'm not against. Throw up Javier's comment too, and I'll get to that comment after I finish this.
Okay.
I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with going to get Clay. I think Clay just hasn't proven enough as he's gotten older after the injuries. He didn't come back strong enough to where I think you warrant that type of that attention. And I think he wanted more attention. He's like the girl who didn't get asked to the prom. Mm-hmm. You know, he's really showing that he's really upset and showing a lot of displeasure. But you also damaged goods. You've been injured out of the last 5 years. You've been injured 4 of them. You've missed your team's playoff runs, deep runs, multiple times. And even after KD injury, you and KD got injured the same year. KD came back and he hasn't been injured since. Right. So it shows the lack of his durability and possibly that he's lost a step or two.
I just think about that Mavericks team, and I think about kind of where they got beat up a little bit in the championship game. They really struggled to play defense and stop scorers on multiple levels.
Right.
And Klay Thompson doesn't fix that for you.
Well, he's supposed to, because he's supposed to be that 3-and-D guy.
But he stops you at one level. He stops you at one level, the same level that Kyrie and Luka are supposed to stop him at. They really needed a big who could play 3-and-D.
They really needed.
You needed that stretch 4 or 5 guy to actually to improve the team. I don't think Klay Thompson's that big piece for them.
They did, and I think, like, I hate saying this because it sounds cliche, but even with Porzingis, when they lost Porzingis was a huge hit because he's a long, wide body who takes up a lot of space, and in the West, you need that long, wide frame.
Yes, you do,
because you're going up against Jokic, you're going against you got Gobert and Cat on Minnesota. Like, you got to take on a lot of bigs in that like little region. I think still DeAndre Ayton still over there. You still got some guys that are bigger, stronger. Chet Holmgren. Now you add Memphis added the kid from Vanderbilt, the big kid.
Edey.
Zach Edey.
Yeah, social media killed that draft pick.
I know, but like in theory, like they don't need, like, they got scorers. Like Memphis has the guy. They just need some role guys. And I just want to jump on Javier's comment real quick because I don't want to. Do you see the NBA getting another contract in the future? Question mark. I don't know when greed do for one another. Okay. Let me just. I don't think that Embiid will get another colossal contract. I think when this contract's over,
really,
I don't think he's that type of guy. I don't think he is. I think if Embiid can have success with this team, he'll pull more of the LeBron and let's keep them together and see how long we can let it go. Let's see how long we can make it happen. Because he's gotten a lot of money so far. Like, he really has. Like, he's gotten an astronomical amount of money. And I think that these stars are starting to realize that, like, if I get my money on the front end, then I can leave it in the back end. And he's got his money on the front end. So maybe he'll lead the Sixers along in the back end and just kind of play out his contracts and just continue to build a team. Like, in 3 years' time, Maxey will he'll be a 7-year veteran at that point.
Yeah.
And so
he's gonna be dominant as hell.
Yeah, he'll be dominant. It's in 3 years' time, like, he'll definitely be an all-star. So you don't know, like, maybe it's almost a passing of the guard. Well, he'll say, you know what, like, this is your team. I want to stay here with you because we built this together, but I don't need this crazy contract. Let's go get us another big fish.
I mean, it'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah.
Some other ones that are like, they kind of caught me off. What's that?
There's one in the Sixers that you're not talking about. It's not a signing, but he will be signed as
Paul Reed.
Well, McClain, the rookie.
Listen, that was a great pick,
dude. Like, I'm a Duke fan, and I'm telling you, I've been saying it all year. Like, they didn't give him enough rope at Duke this year. Like, they didn't give him enough rope. He should have had way more rope than he had. They were really.
And again, you look at, will he fit here? He's got a phenomenal personality. He's personable.
Yeah.
Like, he's a character. Like, he's going to fit in well here.
He's going to do fine. And I think with Philly, because he's himself, he puts me in the mind of like a Dennis Rodman. Like, he's almost like, he's kind of quirky. he's going to take a lot of attention off Embiid in them because he might come in with eyeshadow on one day. But you never know with this guy. And that'll take a lot of attention off of Paul George in the playoffs. Can Maxey continue to improve? Can Embiid stay healthy? A lot of those questions go out the window, especially if he's coming in and he's playing well. He's already got a deal with like a nail polish company.
Yeah.
So I mean, the kid's like he's star-studded. He's like, to me personally, he's the perfect combination with Maxey as they go.
I agree. And guys, with everything that Maxey has learned, him passing that on to a guy like McLean, can you imagine having 2 point guards at that level?
Shifty guards.
Yo.
Like, I really want, and to be honest, I really wanted Rob Dillingham. Like, that's what I really, really wanted. I wanted Dillingham. I know that it was a far stretch to get him, but I wanted Dillingham. And McLean is a damn good replacement, suitable replacement.
Other deals. So, obviously, with the addition of Paul George and Caleb Martin and all them, the Sixers got rid of B-Ball Paul.
Yep.
He is now a Detroit Piston.
And Mo Bamba.
I didn't see them getting rid of Mo Bamba yet. He's not been signed to anybody. But Detroit has now picked up. What's that?
Mo Bamba's with the Clippers.
There you go. Detroit has now picked up our sloppy seconds of B-Ball Paul and Tobias Harris while signing Zach Cunningham to a stupid huge deal. Are the Pistons competitive?
No. They got Tobias Harris.
Johnny checking in. Justin Edwards and Ricky Council could be a cheap end of bench guys to develop. Yeah, absolutely. Guys that are going to get you through the slog of the regular season and then not see a single minute of playoff basketball. Yep. I agree totally.
And if we're being completely honest, we don't really know what the Blue Coats have either. So we also got to be very, very careful. The Blue Coats have had a really great developmental year as far as some of those guys. And they came in last year and they were really good utility players to kind of get us through injuries, the lull of the season. And then you can also see what you got because you never know. One of those guys can be pulled up and can do some major damage for us in the playoffs, depending on how good they are.
Somebody else that I want to talk about. Well, 2 people. So Chris Paul, we know he's in the twilight of his career, but he's just going to be chucking up alley-oops to Wemby.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's there mostly just to, like, help those younger guys.
I think that's a great move. And Chris Paul playing under Pop. You talking about Pop? Would you ask that a Pop? Yeah. I can see now, like, the Spurs kind of fixing what's going on with them a little bit. But the one that surprised me, because he was such a big name out there, DeMar DeRozan getting a huge bag from Sacramento.
Ooh.
From Sacramento. Hey, where's she go? Hi.
I'm too short.
T, we missed you. Oh, my God.
Hi.
Oh, my God, it's T.
I'm going to do this.
You can hear me.
I can hear him.
But you can't hear him.
That's okay. I can make out his words.
Oh, my God, T, it's so good to see you.
You're about to what?
It's so good to see you. You can't read my lips.
You're talking about free agency?
Yes, we are. But
it says that on the screen, though, to be fair.
Tell her it's so good to see her.
It is so good to see you.
I know, it's good to see you too. Hi. I just knew that you guys were on and I wanted to see you.
Oh my God, that makes you feel so good inside.
Hi guys. Bye guys. Bye. Okay.
Man, you gotta love T.
I do. I love T.
You gotta love her, man. She like comes in like this show was kind of down. She brought up the energy. I'm hyped again. So you said Wemby.
No. DeMar DeRozan.
Nobody cares about DeMar DeRozan.
Nobody cares about Sacramento.
No. Don't say that. No. Hold on.
Okay. Talk me out of this because I cannot, other than money, figure out for the life of me.
Well, Sacramento has something offered. They have they got the point guard. And they have Sabonis' son. They got Domantas Sabonis. He was an all-star last year.
None of that is good enough to take over the West. And adding DeMar DeRozan ain't good enough to take over the West either.
No, but I'm saying you don't just add him. You have I can't think of his name right now. He played at Kentucky. I cannot think of his name. It's evading me right now. Oh man, let me look him up. Sacramento's got some juice, man, and they got a good coach. I'm pretty sure they got a good coach. Don't they got Mike Brown?
Yeah, but does that actually qualify as good coach? I mean, he got run out by LeBron.
Everybody's been run out by LeBron.
That's true.
Sacramento. De'Aaron Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, they got De'Aaron Fox at point guard. They got
Malik Monk, JaVale McGee, Jalen McDaniels.
Yeah, they got a good team.
No.
Bro, I'm telling you. Look at my face. I'm telling you.
Kevin is harder. He's your shooter.
Monk. Now you add DeRozan to that. That's all they really needed. They needed another score.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I'm telling you, I'm not saying they're gonna win the West.
It might be good for a first round exit. I mean, he went for the bag. Let's call it like it is.
No. He's going. They're gonna make it to third round.
There is no way.
I'm telling you, B.
No way. What's up, Adam? What's up?
That makes them
no way.
Okay, let's go to the rest real quick because I got some time today.
Okay.
Lakers are booty cheeks. Done.
Straight up booty cheeks.
Booty cheeks. Lakers. The Clippers trash can juice.
They re-signed James Harden. He swindled somebody else.
That's done. All right. So now that's the two teams in LA. Golden State, buns again too. Bottom of the barrel. Utah, bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
You got now. Let's go. So let's take the top half of it. Oh, and then the Spurs they'll still be bad. They won't be good yet. Spurs will still be really bad. So now you got the top tier. You got you got Denver, Minnesota, Dallas, Sacramento.
No,
I'm telling you, I'm counting the teams out for you right now.
I'm gonna look at a team right now and pick out different teams.
I just told you the top 4 teams, and then those are the top 4. I'm telling you.
No,
and they're gonna make it to the playoffs with ease. They're not even gonna be able to play in. They'll make it to the playoffs.
All right. Yes, Denver. We already established that. Denver's better. Minnesota,
better.
OKC.
That's iffy. I don't know. That's iffy.
All right, then you got Portland and Utah. They suck.
Yep.
All right.
He said
Mavericks.
Mavericks are better.
So there's 4 teams right there that are better than the Kings.
I said there's 3. You counting a team that don't count.
OKC?
I don't think OKC can do it, bro.
I think you're wrong.
They only got SGA.
Uh-huh.
And they got Chet Holmgren, who still needs to eat 2 hamburgers a day.
SGA, who should have been the league MVP this year.
What I'm telling you is that right now, he's not the MVP, and he's going to have to work, and he don't have enough. The Clippers are not going to be better, dude. What game are y'all watching? All right, let's make the bet right now on TV. Let's do it.
On the screens?
Yeah. They will come at least in 6th place in the West when it's all said and done. I just know I got a itchy feeling that they're gonna come in at least 6th, and you're gonna be sitting here saying, Dean, you're right. You're gonna say, JD, man, you're the man. And I'm gonna say, you know what? I've known that for the longest.
I'm gonna go 7 or 8 playing.
They're not in the play-in. Because what you gotta think about is Denver is iffy. They showed us they can be really iffy. Dallas can be really iffy. What are we betting? I don't know, gentleman's bet, man. We'll just do a gentleman's bet. You know, the economy's hard right now for everyone.
The economy is hard. Our hair ain't growing any quicker.
Nah, my hair is growing. Maybe I'll shave. If they don't make it, I'll shave my hair off. How about that?
All right, let's get this off the screen then.
Veronica.
Before we do something we were going to regret.
Rebana. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
No, nice little segue here.
Ooh. Speaking of booty.
Barani had his NBA Summer League debut.
A whopping 7 points.
4.
Oh, I thought it was 7.
4.
Those are the most exciting 4 points I've ever seen.
4. And they broke down every time that dude touched the ball. I don't want to spend too much time ripping on this guy because it's not. Here's what I'm going to tell you. But for the fact that he was not LeBron James's son, number one, he wouldn't be in the NBA. We all know that. We are well aware of that fact.
Yeah.
It is not fair to this kid to hold him to an NBA standard, yet regardless of who his dad is. And he is going to burn out in this league so quickly because of the expectation that he is supposed to be the heir to LeBron James. And he's just not. Go.
The question for this whole thing is, then if that's not the case, then don't give him guaranteed money.
Which they did. They
gave him guaranteed money. And shoot, my man McClain looked better than damn Bronny. All I'm saying is it's something to be said when you're giving a kid guaranteed money. It's almost like you're giving him the money that you would have given LeBron to stay. So you're just giving it to him instead.
Yeah, you gave it to Bronny as an investment to get LeBron to stay.
Yeah, that's all it was. It's not nepotism at this point. It's robbery. It's NIL. It's robbery. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Like
realistically, and again, you are around basketball a lot. You develop players. Like you do this.
Okay.
Where, as of July 9th, 2024, give me an NBA player comparison to Bronny. What is his ceiling?
I don't know if he has like a legit comparable player.
That's my fear.
He doesn't. He's only about 6'2".
I was gonna say he's undersized. He's not a good enough ball handler to be a point. He's not a good enough shooter to be a 2.
I mean, to be honest, if you gotta like size wise, he's Ja Morant size, but he's nowhere near as explosive as Ja Morant. He can't score the ball like Ja Morant. And so you kind of got to put him in that same category. Like that will be his comparison, like his comparable player, because he's the same size. He doesn't necessarily create a shot well. He doesn't shoot the ball that well either. Outside of maybe like 15 to 20 feet. I don't know. I would say his 15-footers pretty decent, 10 to 15 footers decent, but nothing to write home about. And to be completely honest, if I'm Bronny, if I'm LeBron, like I'm really putting him in with like a ball handling coach, because he's never going to be anything other than a point guard. And maybe if he shoots the ball better, he could possibly be an off guard because he's Steph Curry size, but he doesn't shoot the ball like Steph
at all. He does not shoot the ball well.
Yeah, so you gotta you kind of run yourself into a bad situation with Bronny because he doesn't do anything particularly well.
He does not do anything at an NBA caliber level.
No.
And unfortunately, the level of development to get him there, I just don't think that there is enough time based on the expectations that he's walking in with.
Well, they won't. Okay, now if they were to say we're going to draft Bronny and send him to the developmental league for 2 years.
I'd be fine with that.
They would only make him 20. He would be 21 years old by that time. He'd be a 21-year-old player with some experience. Because they can even bring him up and down, because we can put him, down and let him work. I just don't see him. I don't see them putting him in a game putting him in the game as a Laker right now and playing meaningful minutes that help the team win. I think they put him in now and he hurts himself and he hurts to stop.
But the problem with that is, and this is where my frustrations with Bronny are, and it's not my frustrations with Bronny, it's my frustrations with adding him to the Lakers. You just said the phrase, playing him meaningful minutes.
Right.
He can't. So he's on the roster to sell tickets. But you're selling tickets for a guy who belongs as the last person on the bench.
It's only because it's a spectacle. If it wasn't a spectacle, like think about when Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. they did it.
But both of them were multiple all-stars and on a top-tier level. That's not the same. That's my issue. That's not the same thing.
I'm just saying that is how LeBron, that's how the Lakers are looking at it. It's to sell tickets. It doesn't matter.
But that's not what this is. That's where I get pissed.
Because you thinking about the purity of the game, and they're not thinking. They're thinking, yeah, but they're thinking about it as a money grab. The Lakers aren't going to win anything anyway, so it's not about winning. It's not about winning. You know, it's not about winning.
But that's where I get pissed off.
I mean, you can get pissed off, but it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
I mean, I don't know. Some people like that.
No diddy.
No diddy. You know, it's very, very frustrating too. So for me, okay,
I'm looking at comments that people are saying about LeBron, and I haven't seen anyone, like any of the scouts from this thing, say anything positive about him, and that's what worries me.
The fact that you, who is somebody who understands basketball, was not able to make a NBA level comparison, that says to me a lot. The fact that you can't give me a ceiling, that says a lot. The fact that you can't tell me things that he does at an NBA caliber well, that says a lot. This kid, but for the fact his dad is LeBron James, does not make it to the NBA. He just doesn't.
I mean, and that's
if you remove all of the names, right? If you remove all of the names and you just go, hey, this is player A, and you give me a stat line, you get laughed out of the room to even put him in the G League.
Okay. Let me say this. So think about like what we thought about Maxey when he first got there. I'll use Maxey.
No.
No.
Flag on the play.
No, wait a minute. Wait. Let me get through the thought process.
Can I finish?
All right. So if you think about Maxey's expectation wasn't as high because remember he had fell in the draft because of injury and stuff like that when he was at Kentucky. He didn't have the best year at Kentucky. So he fell in the draft to us. So we ended up getting a diamond in the rough. The problem when you get the good thing about getting a diamond in the rough is there's no expectation thrown on Maxey from the beginning. He was able to work into the expectation, and now he's a guy that we say now we can expect big things from him.
Okay.
The reverse thing about this thing is because where you drafted LeBron at is the same thing with the Markelle Fultz situation. You drafted this guy very high, and he needs to give something back to the franchise, or he's going to be a bust. And it's a lot of pressure, and I don't think he has the skill set to do it.
So I have quite a few thoughts about what you just said.
Let's hear it.
You are describing a guy like Tyrese Maxey, who went to a top-tier basketball school and played at an excellent level at that basketball school.
But he fell in the draft, remember?
I'm not worried about the draft stock, right? Because we know that things happen on draft night and players fall all over the place. Like, we understand that. That's not out of the norm. When Maxey came in, the expectation was that he would be the number one. He'd be a one out of a 5-man rotation, and that he would bring the ball up and do what he needed to do. That was always the expectation, and sure enough, he just got paid his bag. Even Markelle Fultz, who went to a not great basketball school in the University of Washington, right?
But he was the man coming out of Washington.
And that's fine. He had a good rookie season. Markelle Fultz had a good rookie season. So did Michael Carter-Williams. These are guys who had decent rookie seasons. Even Ben Simmons in his sophomore season won Rookie of the Year, right? So
in his sophomore season.
So this is not the same thing.
You're right. I'm just trying to give you frame of reference.
No, you're trying to make excuses for this guy.
No. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing the opposite. I'm telling you, this is why people are pissed off. Like, what's going on, Eric? You got dudes. You have a dude in LeBron, like Bronny, who he didn't prove anything on a collegiate level, and so then you throw him into the professional level.
He barely. That's the understatement of the century. I want you to repeat that sentence again about his time in the collegiate level.
He didn't prove anything on the collegiate level. So now you're throwing him in the NBA level, and he has 4 points. Like that's par for the course because he's playing against other college players. That's what he averaged as a college player anyway. So he's not. That's par for the course. So we're mad about it, but it's par for the course for him. He averaged 4 points at USC. So all he did was take that same energy over to the Lakers in a developmental league or that rookie league, playing against people his own peers, and he's still only averaging 4 points.
How many times have we seen, whether it's a meme or a question or whatever it is, for $1 million, could you score 4 points in an NBA game if given 20 shots?
I don't know.
If given 9 shots, could you score 4 points in an NBA game? And Bronny can now say yes.
He can say yes. And this is the part that I want you to understand because I know the other side of it. Like the mental strain of it all. I don't think he lasts. I'm like Adam is saying, I don't think he lasts but a couple of years. Because right now his skill, unless he really works on his skill set. Now he could last, like as of right now, if he continues on his trajectory, he only gonna last maybe a year or two. Whenever Dad retires.
So how many years does Bronny last in the NBA? And I think what you were about to say is the same thing I was going to say. When Dad retires, Bronny's out. Yeah, he's no longer a sales point.
No, because he's a point of contention right now.
Even with kid brother coming up behind him.
No, because that one he's got. He
can actually play a little bit.
I'm not saying Bronny can't play. What I'm saying is Bronny is not daddy. Bronny ain't his daddy because he's small. He's a lot smaller. And he's asked to play. They want this explosive player like his dad was. Well, he's not going to be that guy. He's going to be a point guard that is probably a utility. He's going to be like Gary Payton's son. It's going to be very similar to that situation. You're not the star on the team. Look at my. We want these names. We want these names. That's what I'm saying, Chip. We want these names because that's the name. We want the name to produce.
And we want the kids to play for a team that the parents then are going to come watch and support.
And that's true. But my issue with the whole him playing, like Michael Jordan had 2 kids, and we can't name them for anything other than they run a trophy room for their daddy, which is just his best, greatest shoes. Like they run his corporation. Like, but there's very little people who are superstars that have superstar kids. Like we mentioned Ken Griffey Jr. We mentioned that. That's like a one-off. Like there's only been a couple. Like there's only been a couple that you can name.
There's a couple now on Team USA, like the junior squad, that's rolling in deep.
So now let's do the math. Now because we talk about Bronny. So let's do the math. So let's say Bronny was drafted and they are automatically threw him on the developmental team.
I would be fine with that because, like Eric said, he should have stayed in college.
But that is why I'm saying what I'm saying is because he's only doing, Chip, what he did in college. But we're so pissed off about it. No, he averaged 4 points in college. He turned around in his first game as an NBA pro against other college players coming to the NBA. He averaged 4 points. He got 4 points. That is par for the course for him.
I am aware. And like Eric said, he should have stayed in college. He looked at the contract, only putting up 4 points. I think that there's 2 issues here, really. Number one, he's definitely not developmentally ready. He's 1,000% not developmentally ready. Number 2, he's getting paid like he is developmentally ready. So what's going to happen is every single thing that he does is going to be under a microscope.
He just it's going to get blown up. It's going to get blown up. This kid does not have a real shot, and it has nothing to do with anything that he's done. He's done nothing wrong except for.
That's what bothers me. It's not his fault. It's not his fault who his parent is. It's not who it. It's a mess. It's a mess. And it's going to continue to be a mess for his whole career. He would have been better off, in my humble opinion, going over and playing in Europe for a couple of years, going over and playing in Shanghai for a couple of years. Get that bag, develop his game, and then come back.
The problem is he was never gonna have the opportunity because of who his dad is. He was never gonna he's never said he actually said I don't care what people have to say about me, which is the right way to look at it.
It's the same thing that happened when Jordan's boys were both kind of along the same lines.
I don't know if that's true. I didn't even know one of them played down the street from where we live until like the other day. Like one of them played at UCF. I didn't even know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There was all the talk of, well, will they, make it to the NBA? What's their level? Like, it's not fair to those kids.
But Michael Jordan, you didn't hear Michael Jordan saying, I can't wait to play with my kids. Like, Michael Jordan never made that.
Michael Jordan's gone. He's like, bye.
Michael Jordan never said that. He never made that asinine comment about, hey, yeah, I can't wait to play with my sons. Because then it becomes a thing, well, how can we keep him playing until his sons get here?
Adam's saying Adam is saying this, so Bronny is a worse player than the Ball brothers. Yeah.
He's definitely not better than Melo and Zoe. Now, Jello, he might got a chance because Jello's been.
I disagree. I think at least Jello had some size.
They're the same size.
Okay, but one actually plays like he's 6'2". The other one plays like he's 2'6".
Now, Bronny can jump though. I will give him that. Bronny can get off that ground. Like he can jump, but he don't have the scoring instinct. He's a good ball player. Don't get me wrong. He's a good ball player as far as but he should have stayed and developed. That's the problem. He hasn't had a chance to develop. And you're throwing him under a microscope in the limelight where you can't put him on the develop league because people are going to come to see him play because y'all have marketed this thing. They have marketed it. And it's a great marketing tool, but it's bad for that kid who's going to get blown up in front of everyone. And then, can you imagine guys on game night going at this kid like constantly saying you ain't never gonna be as good as your dad? Like the mental strain it's gonna cause him. And then maybe Bron's got to fight somebody because of it. Did you thought about that? That Bronny might have to literally step in.
It's the easiest trash talk on the planet.
You're gonna walk up to this kid. You're gonna talk to this kid when he gets out there. It's gonna piss Bron off somebody. He's not gonna be able to play.
Like I just think of the scene from what's the Adam Sandler movie with where he's the scout for the Sixers.
Oh yeah. And when Anthony Edwards is talking to the white kid.
Yeah. And even Adam Sandler's like talking shit.
Oh yeah. Like it's
right.
It's gonna be really bad, bro. Like I feel bad for this kid.
Like I say, it's not fair to him. Like it's not fair to him that he's got all this pressure on him.
Chip, think about this. The things you won't say to LeBron, but the things you'll actually get to say to Bronny are going to be ridiculous.
Yo, you're the reason why your daddy's hairline's running away from him.
I'll be like, yo, you going to walk up there, things that you could never, dunking on him, things you could have never did to LeBron, you're going to be able to do to his son. There's nothing he can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it.
No, because he sucks.
No, but what it is because Bron can't play the game for him. So at the end of the day, it is what it is.
At some point, he's going to have to do it himself.
Damn, I feel bad for this dude, man.
I do too. It's not fair to him, legit. Okay, this is a quick one. This is a quick one. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Who?
For the Eagles. C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Oh, yeah, the corner.
He decided to shit talk Paul George.
Why?
Because Paul George picked his number 8 out of respect for Kobe. And since C.J. Gardner-Johnson did that first, C.J. Gardner-Johnson was like, oh, I did it first, and your family saw it. Here's what I'm going to say. All right, and this may be my dumbest take I've ever had in a while. There is such a good vibe with the Philadelphia athletes right now that ain't nobody got time for C.J. Gardner-Johnson to be starting shit.
Tell C.J. Gardner-Johnson to worry about guarding people. and not getting
No,
burnt.
I love CJ Gardner-Johnson. I think he is a phenomenal player. I was sad that he went away. I'm glad that they got him back. Like that's a big move for the Eagles. That's a big move for the Eagles. But I don't need him starting shit with Paul George. On the flip side, Nick Castellanos, who wears number 8 for the Phillies, went out and was like, yo, now from an 8 to an 8, like, we cool. You see it all the time. Like, you see it with Bryce Harper. He's constantly doing stuff for the fan base. Embiid's doing stuff. Maxi's doing stuff. Like, there is such a good link with the athletes in Philadelphia right now. I do not need CJ Gardner-Johnson effing that all up.
Well, CJ Gardner-Johnson's got to actually – one thing about Paul George is Paul George has been an all-star like 13 times. CJ Gardner-Johnson can't say the same shit. He can't say the same thing.
Yeah.
One of these, they not like us. Like one of these things is not like the other. Paul George is making crazy amounts of money. CJ Gardner-Johnson is lucky to be here. They took a little chance on his ass, unfortunately. So he needs to chill. Like one was a huge signing and it was a blockbuster and it was everywhere. One, I didn't even know that he was back until like you just told me.
Really?
Yeah, like it wasn't. To me, it don't move the needle. At the end of the day, like I couldn't pick him out of a lineup if you put a picture of him in front of me.
I could because he's a Philadelphia Eagle. But like you think about like the way that CJ Gardner-Johnson left Philadelphia the last time, he's like, oh, the fans, sir.
But
He talked a little shit on the fans. And then they went ahead and got him back and was like, we forgive you. It's cool. And then you start talking shit about Paul George. Like, dude, sir, stop it.
How about this? We have a picture of the Eagles up on the screen right now, on the very bottom corner. Where do you see CJ Gardner-Johnson at?
Well, all you have on there is the offense. So.
But I'm just saying, if I put the defense, I wouldn't have put him on there neither.
Yes, you would.
Nope, I wouldn't have. I would have put your 2 defensive linemen, Jordan Davis. I'd have put big boy Fletcher Cox if he's still there.
He retired.
Well, still wouldn't put him. Somebody else will go on there. I got my linebackers. I got N'Kobe Dean. He'd be on there. I got Slay. We still got Slay.
We do got Slay. Big play Slay. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Big play Slay. But it wouldn't be him. Let's be honest. It wouldn't be him.
See, that's why you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You just don't get
What
it.
I'm telling you is that when you put up a picture of the Philadelphia 76ers, who's only been a team for like literally not even 25 days. Look who's one of the primary pictures on
5 starters versus 22 starters.
I'm still telling you, if he mattered that much, he'd be on there. Saquon ain't played a game yet.
Yeah, but he's a top tier.
What about Goddard?
Goddard shouldn't be on that. Listen, you talk to me and Johnny. Johnny knows I have some thoughts about Goddard. I don't think that Goddard is worth it right now.
You got Smitty. You got AJ Brown. Listen, dude, I'm just telling you, if CJ was that guy, he just don't need to be running his mouth right now. You just get back into good graces. Shut up talking. Go play the game and go bring a chip home. Because I promise you, Paul George is a household name. CJ Gardner-Johnson is not. I didn't even know what number CJ Gardner-Johnson was until you told me this.
8.
I know it now. But I didn't know the reasoning, nor did I care for real.
Right.
But I do care about Paul George.
All right.
They're not like us. Going on fan, I want to get that number 8. That Philly 8. Ooh, I'm ready for this. I've been waiting all day for this one.
So, as you know, I am an umpire. I don't know if you are aware of this or not.
I don't know. I didn't know that you were doing that.
I'm a baseball umpire, which means I'm on a lot of like baseball like websites and things like that, right?
You referee games.
Well, no, I'm set. Yes, I'm not. This one's not even about me. So, I came across this video today, and it is some umpire somewhere doing something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what I got for you. And and I commented on the video, and needless to say, the comment took off. I'm gonna show you the video. I'm gonna get your thoughts.
I'm nervous, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, it's a very short clip. I don't know how I'm gonna get it to be very large. It's very, very small, But I think the audio is more important than anything else. So basically, let me set up the clip for you. So it's like an 8U game. The catcher misses the ball. The umpire loses his crap.
Mm.
Here we go.
That thing's little, buddy.
Good eye. Damn it, guys!
What? Was he? Hold on. Let me see. Let me see it again.
I'm gonna click one more time. One more time.
Good eye. Damn it, guys!
Well, what is he mad about?
So the catcher missed the ball entirely, and the ball hit him in the side of the head.
Okay.
Takes off his mask. He spikes it down.
Damn it, guys.
Damn it, guys.
You got to get him
Okay.
out.
Let me tell you quite a few things. So basically what my comment was, I'm like, hey, you got a turf field. You could tell this guy was at the end of his rope. He had done more than one game.
Yeah.
He probably gotten hit more than one time. So like I understand the sentiment. I'm not condoning it. But I understand the sentiment. Okay.
Mhm.
And I got you. There's no excuse for this. He's a big baby, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. I get it. And here's about 6 different things. Like, number one, he was in a terrible position, right? He's literally bent over like this in front of the thing. Now, number 2, he's directly behind the catcher, which we're literally told to not be anymore. We're told to work the slot, which is like half behind this, half behind that. Like, there's all different ways. So, like, he got hit and it sucks, but
I just think getting that mad about it is crazy.
And that's it. It's an 8U game.
These are babies, dude.
You got hit, dude. But like, to me, this is what the issues with umpires is, right? You've got a group of people who really love what they like. I love what I do. I would not do. I think I'm up to like 117 games right now this season. I would not do what I do if I hated it.
True.
But you've got that group of guys that are still straight up assholes.
I mean, come on, bro. Like,
you also turned your head. Like, let the equipment do its work.
Listen, brother. If you're gonna take the lick in the face with a cage is, opposed to taking it on the side of the head where you got no protection. A little piece of maybe a little piece of padding, a little piece of plastic right there on the side. And then there's 7. They're gonna miss a lot of balls. They're learning how to play.
It was a mess.
Listen, all I'm saying is the same thing with these referees that referee basketball down here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, bro. Like, if you can't handle heckling from a child or a parent, then you can't do this refereeing thing. Is it right that they heckle you? No, but it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. Do it for the love of the game, not the money. And true, there's not enough money in it, but at the same time, like, to be honest, can I be honest?
I would love you to be honest. Keep it a bean.
For an hour or 2 of work, it's a decent wage. There's a way worse work out here, bro. I promise you. There's way harder work.
I did like a 2-hour game, right? $70. So it's $35 an hour.
I mean, a lot of places, people aren't making that. Like, I work in the education field. Like, people aren't making that.
I work in the education field. I don't make that.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's talk about it. Like, let's get real. Let's talk. You're making an honest wage for a job that is fun because you love it. If you have to deal with some hecklers, okay, cool. It's easy to shut that down. Hey, I'm not here to talk back and forth to you. But then you'll see these refs that'll start talking back to the players or to the coaches or to the fans. Like, what are you talking to the fans for?
Every single time I do a plate meeting, right? Before the game starts, coaches, ground rules. We go around the field. We say, oh, hey, there's this spot here, cool. Hey, what's the rule set for tonight? Okay, these are the rules. Coach, basic sportsmanship reminders. You are in charge of your players, your fans, your coaches, and yourselves. If there is an issue, coach, I'm coming to you. So if that fan starts getting out of hand, what do? I go, coach, I'm going to need you to take care of that fan, or else you're going to have a very short day. I'm going to throw you out of the game.
And on top of all that, let's just throw this out there. Like, as a coach, because I'm not reffing, I have displeasure with referees all the time.
Adam, once a game, sir. I literally did a game on Sunday, 9U baseball, took a pitch, catcher missed the ball. I took a pitch right to my forearm. You can actually, I don't know if you can see it. Probably not, because the camera's not great. You can actually, on my arm, see where the baseball stitches are.
And let's just throw that out there. So
I took a second and kept going.
My thing is, when you have these referees, and this is, I'm on vent now because it's like now I'm on it. Like, you have these referees who are sensitive, and you can't say bad call, or you can't say, or anything just in general. Like, a lot of times, like, I want consistency. If you're gonna be bad on both sides. Like, be a bad referee on both sides. Like, give the same shit calls to us as you are.
And some do.
And some do. And those are the refs I'm okay with, because it's consistent. Consistency is key. But don't, because we're more athletic, or we're more, or a lot of times down here, what happens is we're not more athletic. We just have better players. So you try to make the game even. And at that point, that's not your job to make the game even. Your job is to ref the game and call the game right. It's not to make the game even for you, not to give one team more calls than the other team. It's to, because all things are even no matter what, because we're playing a sport. You just have to do your job and make the calls. Like, don't give one team one calls and give the other team no calls, because that's not. You're trying to keep even the game, and then you're taking over the game, and that's not what you're paid to do.
And I also say, like, when I do a game, I go, listen, if there's a question, especially when there's two umpires, if there's a question about a call, coach, call timeout. You go out to the umpire that made the call. If we have to get together to fix something, we will. I said, we'll get together, we'll come to a decision, and then we're going to move on, and we're going to keep playing baseball. Like, we're not going to sit here and argue about, if we need to get together, we will. Then we're going to come to a decision, and then we're going to keep playing baseball.
And then I think that you're right on that. And then I think that there's a point, because this basketball is a little different. They very rarely overturn calls.
No,
it's very rarely done. Even if the referee that has made the call they know it's a bad call, their partner may know it's a bad call too. But they
know it's bad calls. You got listen. I was on the bases tonight. There was a couple pitches early in the game that I could not believe my partner called strikes, and I heard the third base coach go, "Really, Blue? Are you kidding me?" My face.
But that's what I'm saying, though, and I think, okay, and I think for me that's my biggest. And I'm just gonna talk to you because you're my boy. Like, yeah, for me as a coach, like, it's hard to, because you're telling the guy to continue keep your team calm, right? But if they're visibly being cheated, no one's calm. Like, one's calm.
Here's the issue, especially with baseball. Most of baseball officiating is judgment calls.
Right.
So strike ball, fair foul, catch no catch, safe out. Those are all judgment calls.
Right.
So if I use the phrase "in my judgment," there's not a lot that you can argue.
Right.
In my judgment, coach, I had it as a strike.
Right.
In my judgment, coach, ball beat him to the bag.
But that's not the thing in basketball. We all know that.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Basketball, it's different because it's a little less judgment and more, no, that ball went in the hoop. No, he elbowed him in the throat. Like, it's clear.
Like, come on, man. Like, what are the rules? And how are the rules different from one team to the other? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Ain't we got the same rules?
That's the other issue with baseball. There's 4 different rule sets. I literally have an index card in my pocket that says, like, this is the rule set for tonight.
That's rough.
But then it just gets down to calling strikes, calling balls, calling fair, calling foul. Like, I got that. That's easy.
That's easy, yeah.
But I'm also, and every time I run an umpire clinic, because I train junior umpires, like, I train people to do this job.
Right.
Right. This is going to be a shock to you. I'm very loud when I umpire.
Of course. You have to be. If not, you're going to get.
And what they're like, why are you so expressive? Why are you so loud? I said, most of the time when parents complain, most of the time when parents bitch and do things, because they don't know what's going on in a game.
You can't.
So I'm very clear. Hey, that's a strike. They're not going, but God, wait, did he call that a strike? Was that a... No, No, he called that a strike. And guess what? He's been calling that a strike all day. So stop trying to say that he's not, that it's not a strike. It's been a strike since the first inning. Swing your damn bat.
And this is my last point. As a coach, this is my issue. Like, everybody's like, why are you yelling? I am not yelling at a referee or a player at any particular part in the game. But our games are packed. So you have to yell for anyone to hear anything you have to say. If I want to get what I need to, if I'm trying to talk to the ref, he's far away. He's not stopping to talk to the assistant coach. So if I have to.
Number one, we're told not to.
Right. So if he's trying to keep up with the flow of the game, because we're playing fast anyways, the only way he can hear me is if I got to yell to him. Same way with the kids. I'm not yelling at your kid. I'm yelling because your kid can't hear me. And that's why he just went and did a bonehead play, because he didn't hear the coach tell him to do something different. Oh, I didn't hear you. Okay, well, now I'm going to make sure you hear me. You're going to hear me in your sleep tonight because I'm going to yell so loud.
It's just there's so many ways to do this. And again, as an official, as a referee, like I did a tournament 2 weeks ago and I told you, like, everything was live cast on YouTube. I went home and watched every pitch of a game that I did.
Right. Even though you were there.
Even though I was there. And I went, oh, this is the spot where this happens. This is the spot where this happens. Why? Because I wanted to make sure that I got stuff right. And I did the same thing last year at the same tournament, and I was terrible last year. I am a better umpire now than I used to be because I'm willing to work. That's all.
That's real, and that's real. You got to work on your craft.
I do.
If you don't hone your craft, like, what are we doing?
Well, I'm starting to do the pee-pee dance, so let's see how we can get through these 3 ones quick.
Okay, bet.
Clark versus Reese. This is an easy one, too. Because you know what? Here is the problem. Caitlin Clark has been doing a great job, right? She's been doing she is saving the WNBA, right?
Single-handedly
Saving the WNBA. She got a triple-double. People lost their minds. It was everywhere.
My word.
My good gracious. Angel Reese has had double-doubles for the last 15 games.
Yes.
Why is one bigger than the other? And I'm going to actually leave the screen for a second because I'm going to do the BB dance.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right. So the main reason why this is an issue is because, yes, while Caitlin Clark is having a great rookie season, so is Angel Reese. Angel Reese is recording, I think she's recorded, maybe 14 double-doubles, which makes her the all-time leading rookie. She's setting a record for rookies leading in double-doubles. And now I understand she's a very eclectic. She's got a lot to say. She's very, very aggressive. So some people say, but Caitlin Clark is not saving the WNBA on her own. Like, she's got a lot of players and a lot of people that came before her that are making this thing worth it. So I will be the first one to let you guys know that Caitlin Clark is a great player and she's going to have her time. But right now, her little triple-double does not eclipse what Angel Reese has done for the last 13 to 14 games. And she's doing it against some players. Like, she's not doing it against, like, really bad players. Like, it's really good players. She still has to contend against, like, Aisha Wilson on the maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on how the schedule goes. She's got to play against some of the best, Stewie, all these girls that, like, legit are best players in their particular size and their particular position. So I am not one to say anything bad about what Caitlin Clark is doing, but I do believe that there is a little bit of bias when it comes to her because of the fact of who she is and what she's actually been able to accomplish. I do like Caitlin Clark. I think she is a phenomenal player, but that one triple-double does not X out the 13 to 14 double-doubles that Angel Reese has had this whole little stretch right here. That's a phenomenal stretch for a rookie.
Correct. And playing at that higher level. And look, we know that Caitlin Clark will eventually be the face of the WNBA. Why? Because she's good in all time zones.
Mm-hmm.
I used that phrase last week. I'm going to use it again. She's good for all time zones.
For sure.
And Eric's saying, like, Caitlin Clark needs to play some defense as well. Yeah. Problem is that she doesn't have that skill set yet to compete with these top tier athletes.
She's basically going to end up being a Steph Curry.
No, you know what she is? She's an Adam Morrison. Somebody who excelled at the college game, but her game may not translate to the professional game.
Right.
That's right. I went a deep Gonzaga cut.
Okay.
A
So here
Tyler
you go.
Hansborough. She's a Tyler Hansborough.
All right, I gotta move my camera down. I want you guys to be able to see my face good. Okay.
What you got?
So not only do I second what you're saying, and I try to be contrary in times with you because it makes it for a very, very
It's for a good show.
But at this particular juncture, I do believe she'll be one of the face of the league. But just like now,
But should she be?
I don't know. But because right now, the face of the league is Asia Wilson. And she doesn't show any signs of slowing down anytime soon. And you just so happen that you got Angel Reese coming in at the same time, who's very much like I would say like a smaller version of Asia Wilson. And so like you got a league that you got these girls who you're trying to provide some type of sex appeal to, because nobody wants to watch two male leagues. And so Asia Wilson gives you that. Angel Reese is going to give you that. Caitlin Clark is kind of, she's not ugly. She ain't but she ain't your cover girl either. So you got some wiggle room with her. You still got Sabrina Ionescu, very beautiful woman. You got but then you got like girls like Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner was never going to be the face of the league ever, no matter how good of a player she was, because dudes are afraid of that. Dudes are afraid of that, and it's kind of like almost you got to play almost devil's advocate, because you can get away with like Diana Taurasi, you can get away with Stewie, you can get away with Della Dunn, even though they're of the other sexuality and they have wives and stuff like that. You can get away with it, but when you really like take them down to their core, it's just hard for your mind to reconcile that these girls look like men, some of them. And so even with the ones that are very muscular or very, they're very toned, you can get away with it as long as they have that little bit of appeal to them. And now the WNBA is getting a little bit more feminine, I feel like. They're going back to the original model when they had like Lisa Leslie and some of those ladies. So I'm uplifted by that part of it. But I do believe that Caitlin Clark at some point will be one of the faces of the league. I don't think she will ever be the face of the league.
But they're going to push. It's kind of, to me, like it's the Bronny thing all over again. They're going to push her to be more than what she is.
The LeBron or the Bronny thing?
The Bronny thing.
Well, okay. So you've had some heir appearance in there. You've had Sue Bird. You've had Diana Taurasi. You've had those girls. But I always equate it with the great white hope. They always have one player that's the black version that can appeal to the black fan base, and then they always have the one player that can appeal to the white fan base. Very similar to Dr. J and Larry Bird.
Right. Good for all time zones.
Yeah, Magic and Bird. Like, so you have those, Magic and Isaiah. Like, you have certain guys, and then like in the early LeBron stage, you had Nowinski, Tim Duncan, Nowinski, Bron, like LeBron.
But even Tim Duncan was good for all time zones.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't talk much. He's not gonna say nothing.
Well, because think about it, Tim Duncan did it in a time where you had your Mellos, your AIs, your Kobe's, you had your guys that were more flashy.
Yeah,
and you had Tim Duncan, who is arguably the greatest power forward of all time.
He played with the other great power forward in his time, so it's kind of hard. Like, him and KG are definitely right there together. Like, you gotta give it to them two.
For me, I like Tim Duncan as a pure 4.
Okay.
Right? KG did some things that were kind of like transcends you to a 3 a little bit, to a 5 a little bit. Tim Duncan was a 4 through and through.
Well, Kevin Garnett never played with another big like him. Like,
true. They went with a smaller scale, right?
Yeah, because Tim Duncan played with David Robinson for like 3 or 4 years.
Who played the 5?
He played the 5 because he wasn't versatile. But like,
that's what I'm saying.
But think about now, like if you take him off those teams and you put him like the latter years, he was a 5. Like, he played 5 for them. He didn't play the power forward. So you have he never went down. He always went up. KG went down sometimes. So
right, as needed. Sure.
Yeah. Because they played Glenn Big Baby Davis. They played Big Baby at 5. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Because he was a bruiser.
He's a bruiser. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So you had a lot of situations like that.
But kind of going back to the whole thing, and you and I again, I say this all the time. I really like our show because we have a unique perspective where, it's chip and drip. Like it's the sports wheelhouse.
Yeah.
It's black and white. Like we know what we're talking about here from
Thanks.
both sides of it, and we're respectful to each other. The Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing. The reason why Caitlin Clark is getting more recognition than Angel Reese is very, very simple. It sounds about white.
Yeah, okay. And I know we're doing this thing where we do the thing where we're bouncing off, but I will say they're gonna rule the league together when it's their time,
and that's okay. That's great.
They're going to. They don't realize that if they did it that way, it would make them more money than pitting them against each other. like think back, and I mentioned this before, but think about Jordan. Let's think about Jordan. Let's say Jordan had a white counterpart. Jordan didn't have a white counterpart during his his real terror.
No, not Christian Laettner.
Nah, like John Stockton.
Not the same.
Not the same. So they don't have the same caliber. But like, let's say you had like right now you got Luka and possibly Anthony Edwards. You could pit them two together and kind of. You just skipped
Shea again.
Shea's not gonna be the guy. It's gonna be
because he plays in Oklahoma.
Yeah, you got to have a big market guy. So you got to have like a minute. You need to have Anthony Edwards because he's Michael Jordan's son. So you kind of gotta. You have to have someone that has that star power. He's got to have star power. He's got to have it. Like Luka's got that star power, and he's got the attitude, and so does Anthony Edwards. That was good TV to watch. When them two went at it, like you can see them going. They're gonna battle for the next couple.
Have Isaiah Hartenstein solve the cultural crisis.
Who?
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh no. He's not.
He's a dude who was on the Knicks and now he's on OKC.
Yeah, he's not gonna do it.
I mean, he's black.
No, he's not.
No, he is. No, he is.
No.
I hear you, but he is.
I gotta see it.
Pat Beverly was surprised by this information. He is.
How is he? By like DNA ancestry?
Yeah, DNA, yes.
That don't make you black, brother.
Playing some Big Five in the NBA does.
They don't make you black neither. It's about the experience. It's like you seen the video where the lady, she basically told everybody she was black. She worked for the NAACP, but she was really white, but she said she was black and told everybody she was black. Rachel Dola or whatever.
Okay.
She basically told everybody for the longest time that she was a black woman. And then after it came out, she wasn't black. She then said, "I identify as a black woman." Well, guess what, buddy? I want to identify as a rich white man. Can I do that, please?
Your credit would go through the roof.
I need that. I need that. I need to identify as a Fortune 500 white man who owns multiple companies. That's how I identify.
Shit, I want to identify like that. I'm not even there.
Listen, man. So that's all I'm saying. Like, come on, man. Call a spade a spade. It is what it is. They can rule together, but they don't want to.
No, they don't.
Let's go.
JD, you want to talk about a feller? And we're not even talking about like the Team USA. Like, yeah, Team USA is going to dominate like they do.
Yeah, but I was more impressed with the practice.
Yo, Cooper Flag?
Practice? We talking about practice? Yes, we talking about practice. We talking about practice. Man, Cooper Flag, if you didn't believe in Cooper Flag before, like let's say you missed the hype train on all the stuff this summer before he got signed. Let's say you missed all that. I saw the kid play in real life. I saw him play in person. The dude is good as advertised. And he's going to join a team with Isaiah Evans, who arguably is the second best player in the nation coming out of high school. All going to play for Duke. And they got a big Nigerian dude too. So this practice I'm watching, they just show that they lost by 1 point to the actual team that's going over the play. 78-79. Cooper Flag was absolutely phenomenal. He scored at all three levels on different defenders. who were probably trying to stop him. Like he cooked AD one time, and I'm like, dang. He might have to go play against guys in college. He gonna cook them dudes.
Yeah, I mean, Duke is, and again, whatever college basketball is right now, Duke, because that's where he's going, is going to win the national championship this year.
I think not only I think does Duke win, I think Duke starts this whole back Fab Five situation again. They're going to do what Chris Webber and them couldn't do. They're going to win this thing.
But he's only going to be around for 1 year because he's going to be the number one pick in the draft next year.
And it's a toss-up between him and Isaiah and Evans, apparently, from what everybody's saying. I haven't seen Isaiah Evans play yet. But, dude, if he's anywhere near what Cooper Flagg is advertised as, hold your britches, buddy. And that should start that should start, and this should stop that whole, like, I'm playing in the college game for 15 years to finally win a national championship. Like, I don't even want to watch. I don't want to watch UConn play. It's boring ass basketball.
Yeah, Dan Hurley just signed a big deal, took a little bit less money because he didn't want to go coach LeBron.
Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't watch the national championship, and that was the reason why. It was boring basketball. It's boring.
I told you it was the first time. It was probably like the last time I did a show. It was the first time in years I didn't even fill out a bracket.
Didn't even worry about it. Didn't even bother.
And I always fill out brackets. I do shows about the brackets.
I mean, Tila Dick does kick your butt every single time, though. So,
yeah, I think I also just tapped out on that aspect too.
Yeah, it's disheartening. But watching 27-year-olds play basketball in college is not what I signed up to do. I promise you that. Like the main guys are playing were grown men. They were showing their wives and kids in the stands. Like it was like watching an NBA game or like a G League.
It was
game.
like LeBron waiting around in the NBA for Bronny to come in. You had the dude for UNC, and at the back end of the bench was his kid, Armando Betancourt or whatever.
Baycott. Yeah, Baycott's been there for 25 years. But Baycott, for a guy like Baycott, it makes more sense for him to stay in college. He's making more money in college than
he is never going to make it in the NBA. Did he even get anywhere? Is he going anywhere? Nope.
No. He's been there for so long. He can be the ambassador for North Carolina, just like Tyler Hansborough could. Listen, I don't know. Get your ass out of college and go live your life, sir.
False. He got signed to the Utah Jazz.
Well, he won't be there long.
An Exhibit 10 contract. I don't know what that means.
That means he was late. That means he's
playing summer league.
Yeah, he was a late draft pick, and they're gonna decide if they want to pick him up or not.
No. He was undrafted.
Right.
That means
pick him up.
He's playing summer league.
Yeah, they just see if they can pick him up as a free agent. He don't got that guarantee. He don't got that Bronny guarantee contract.
But he made $2 million in NIL money.
Right, from being for the North Carolina Tar Heels, which I think what's the rookie minimum like right now, like 150.
Oh, I don't know.
They were talking about it. The rookie minimum is like even more than like what what some of the top women make. It's crazy.
All right, last topic. We're talking about AI.
Practice.
We're talking about AI. So AI gave an interview, and you didn't even catch on to this. I shared it with you.
You did.
A couple days ago. AI spoke, and I'm going to read the quote, and then tell me your thoughts. And I gave it to you early so you could formulate some thoughts.
I did.
Legend Allen Iverson spoke about playing today. It was a couple days ago. No, I wouldn't stand playing in this era where players think without any kind of injury, look from the stands as the team sinks that's no, I couldn't stand it. I don't know if the game has evolved or if it's backfired. Players are no longer competitive. They don't have that passion to compete and leave everything on the field for their team. As a player, I wouldn't call this evolution. Rather, it's a setback. I think everything we achieved in the past, they're not respecting it. JD, you have some thoughts?
Listen, it's going to be hard for anybody to say anything to that guy, too, because he's a guy who played with like a chart in the finals where all these different injuries. He had like 17 lines pointing in his body that branched off and said torn meniscus, torn tendon in his finger, bruised quadricep. Like it was like dude was just banged up that year. And he didn't sit, man. He didn't sit, and I think that's where I think that's where he has a little bit of leg to stand on. Like it's hard to tell a guy, a Hall of Famer at that hey, I'm playing hard and I'm getting I'm getting freaking load managed and I'm in my second year of playing. Like, you don't want to play basketball. Like, you don't want to play basketball. Load managed. You're 19, 20 years old and you're load managing. Now, a guy like Embiid that has had some injuries, a guy like Kawhi, even like guys like Kawhi, you keep putting Kawhi on the damn USA team. He ain't played for like 40 games in the last like 7 years.
I end up thinking about the fact that the 76ers franchise had a guy like AI who you truly couldn't keep off of the court.
Right. They were hiding his jersey, bro.
Right? You couldn't keep him off the court and all the injuries and everything. And then you've got guys like Andrew Bynum who came through. You had Nerlens Noel who came through. You had Jaleel Okafor who came through. You had Ben Simmons that came through.
Benny.
Guys that you couldn't get onto the court.
Did
Ben Simmons. No.
Oh, okay. Just on that.
Ain't nobody giving him a deal.
He getting paid. He's with the Nets. He's still with the Nets.
He's still with the Nets. Every single July we get the same, video working out and he's lifting and all that stuff. And
Ben Simmons is still one of my favorite players. I don't care what nobody says.
I think that Ben Simmons had so much potential, and then something just went straight up wonky with the dude, right? And again, we talk about that. But Ben Simmons is exactly the kind of guy that AI is talking about in this quote. How can you – and, Ben Simmons is that kind of guy. And then you talk about the superstars where they're just like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm going to take this game off. The NBA had to put out rules that said you as an NBA team have to tell us when you're sitting people because you can't just not play players.
Yeah, because they were tanking for better players.
People were selling tickets. They were hyping up. You were putting on TV the wrong games. I mean, it was just all over the place.
Right. I mean, my biggest thing is because I was young and I didn't come from a lot of money. If my dad ever got us NBA tickets, I remember I got to see Jordan play as a Wizard in Charlotte. No, but it was good. Even though he was a Wizard, he was 40-something years old.
I mean, he still played 80-some damn games.
He played. I can literally say I seen Michael Jordan play. A lot of people can't say that. And he had like 20-something points too that night, by the way. He had 40-something.
Yeah, I'm going to his basketball stats. The last year that he was in the league.
Who?
Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
He was 39 years old. Okay. The last year he was in the league, he was 39 years old, playing for Washington in 2002, 2003. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He played all 82 games.
I'll even pick on Embiid. Embiid's played how many full seasons? Maybe 2? Maybe 3?
No, I doubt even that. Hold on. Let's find out.
Kawhi hasn't played a literal full season.
The most Embiid has ever played in a season was 68 games. And that was 21-22. Give me another one. Who'd you say? Kawhi?
Kawhi.
The most Kawhi has ever played in a season was 74.
But how many games?
That was the year that he won the MVP. That was the year he won All NBA, Defensive Player of the Year, as an All-Star defensive. Like he did some things that year.
Yeah, but it was with the Spurs, wasn't it?
Yes, it sure was.
Dude ain't been with the Spurs in a decade.
This was 2016, 2017.
Come on, bro. Like, I didn't know that.
And the next season, guess how many games he played?
They came up with load management for
No. Guess how many games he played the next year?
30.
Lower.
22.
Lower.
5?
Higher.
15.
He played 9 games the following season.
He played single digits? Well, he got hurt too, though.
9 games, and then after that went to Toronto and played 60.
Because remember, he held out. He got hurt, and then he held out the entire season.
9 games.
I do remember that very specifically because he held out, and he was saying that he wasn't going to play, and then they ended up trading him to Toronto for a bag of Skittles and a pack of Annihilators, and they ended up getting him, and then he came to Philly and beat us with the triple doink.
I don't want to talk about that.
Don't. And he got that. But then after that, he goes to the Clippers. He played about 6 years in the Clippers. Like he played like a couple games.
Even newest Sixer, Paul George. He's played in 81 games in Indiana in 2015, 2016. So like even last year he played in 74 games. Like he plays. But again, you're talking about a guy like Allen Iverson who they literally had to kill to keep off the court. So I agree with AI here. I don't think that today's NBA is anywhere comparable to the old NBA.
Heck no.
And we see it. Yeah, it's higher scoring and cool. It ain't the same. The NBA that you and I grew up with, the 80s NBA, the 90s NBA, it was so much better. This NBA is soft.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's the only thing I got a problem with, man. If I'm being completely honest, I got an issue with that. I really do. I have an issue with it.
Yeah.
I have an issue with it. Like, you can't do that stuff, man. You got to really give us what we deserve, man. Like,
give us playoff basketball a couple times during the year.
Yeah, like even if you just do it for a stretch, and they was like, oh, that's what the thing is going to change that. Like when they add the actual play-in of the stuff, that's going to make it better. It doesn't make it better.
It doesn't make it better.
It's rough, man.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
I'm trying to get the money for the rent.
Word. All right. You doing anything cool podcast-wise, life-wise, social-wise? What you got?
Nothing crazy. Like I said, I'm getting back into it. Me are going to start a podcast. Me and one of the coaches I coach with is called Life Out of Bounds. It's going to be we're going to interview coaches. We're going to interview like top area players. Really start digging into like some of the issues that are going around the area. Right, and we're going to talk about stuff outside of basketball. Like we can talk about scheme and strategy and horn sets and back screen. We can talk about all that stuff, but we're going to talk about being a coach and like the other parts that go into it, being a part of the education game and talk to different coaches around the area and start like really opening the conversation for some players and programs around the area that we think that we have a lot of respect for sure.
Cool. I'm going to keep doing this with you. We're going to try and keep going. Again, like we always say, I got AAT Sports Show tomorrow. Talking Eagles. We got Matt Templin coming in. He makes helmets. Nice. That's my dude from the cover band days, and he makes helmets now and things like that.
He makes helmets like NBA, NFL helmets?
Yeah, NFL replica helmets.
Ooh, we need to talk. Tell him to send me a line. I need to try to get one of them. I need to try to get me a Sixers. I mean, not a Sixers, the Steelers.
Yo, he does good work.
Dude, all right. Send me his information. We got to talk. On this
thank you for tuning in. Everybody who commented, we appreciate you. We love it. I'm on camera. Ooh. No, that's weird. Stop it. No Diddy. Stop it.
Oh, God.
I'm Chip.
I'm Drip.
And we out of this beer. Okay, bye.